I think it was Fred Bunnell said, forestry isn't rocket science, it's much more complicated than that. My name is Gerald Cordeiro, and I was born in Castlegar, BC in 1978. I was actually the New Year's baby on January 6th. That tells you how small Castlegar was back then. My family moved to Prince George when I was about 5, and I grew up there most of my life, and then was called to return to the Kootenays about 10 years ago. If I had to pick one thing, the thing I love the most about the forest is your ability to kind of detach yourself from the rest of society and your busy everyday life. It's just amazing to be out in the woods, kind of on your own. You know, the sounds of the forest and the smells are so much different than what you experience in your everyday life. I manage the forestry department at Kalesnikoff Lumber. What I'm responsible for is trying to help coordinate and facilitate the work of our professionals who are doing all the planning, road construction, harvesting, tree planting, and a lot of public engagement and First Nations engagement. I had an instance where we were planning to do some harvest within a domestic watershed, and for good reason. We had folks who were concerned about their water supplies. And as I got into the discussions and the engagement with some of these folks, what we discovered was that we had a lot in common. At the end of the day, there's one person in particular that I can think of who I now call a friend, that came out of some of those hard discussions. We kind of have this relationship where you'd think of us in an adversarial role, but at the same time, we just really managed to make it work. We find in BC, forestry is a pretty hot topic these days, and there's a lot of skeptics, and fair enough, there's always room for improvement. But what I think that people in BC should understand is that the people in the forest sector are just like in every other sector. You're going to find people on every end of the spectrum who have different views in forestry just the same way as they do in every other industry and every other practice that humans undertake. There's not just a we need status quo mindset in forestry these days. There's really a generational movement to realize and try to improve. When I think about the future of BC's forest, the thing that gives me hope is when we come out to these young stands and see the way they're growing. We hear a lot of skepticism of you're not going to get the stands to regrow, climate change and pests and fire is going to kill them all. I don't buy that. I come out to the woods a lot and I see a lot of growth. It is a sustainable industry, it's going to grow.